You are a personal trainer, an online creator, or a coach who's probably in one of three camps right now. You're in camp one and wanting to get started with online coaching, but you've no idea where to start, what to do, or even how to coach people, and so you have not started. Or maybe in camp two, where you've coached some people online, some friends, some family maybe. You've posted some tips and information on socials, but it's pretty aimless. It doesn't bring in sales. You're just dropping in DM for coaching, plans available, these kind of calls to action here and there, but you can see that it's not working. Or maybe you're in the last camp and you've had some level of success in online coaching and you've had consistent clients, but you're just feeling a bit stuck and like sales and signups are getting harder and harder and you're just struggling to stay where you are, never mind to grow. If you do fall into any of these camps, or maybe you're between camps but feeling like you're working hard and not seeing results for your efforts, then stick around for the next 15-20 minutes and I'll show you exactly why you are where you are, and more importantly how to change your situation and how to onboard 5 to 10 clients in the next 6 to 8 weeks and start to make leads, clients, customers come to you. But first, a quick intro. 2 minutes, I promise. This is not going to be all about me, but I do want to just give you my credentials and you will then know, okay, this is why I should give this person 15-20 minutes of my time because he might have something to say. So Owen Dabban-Catto is my name. I've spent 6 years almost full-time in the online coaching and mentoring space since February 2019. At first I struggled to build a business. I couldn't get clients, I couldn't make sales, I didn't have that skill set. I acquired that skill set and then I built the wrong business and I ended up with 50 clients that I didn't enjoy working with. I have been on both sides of the coin in terms of the coaching process. I've been a client, I've been a coach hundreds of times over the last 6 years, and I now spend my days using that knowledge and that experience and that insight to turn coaches and consultants and creators and personal trainers and fitness professionals into influential identities, which is a term we will cover further along in this video, to unlock freedom to travel more, to work less, and to earn €6,000 plus per month, and we'll also cover that number and why that's important. My own journey into business started in 2018. I ditched 10 years of destructive habits, you name it, I've done it with rare exception. If you grew up in Ireland, you'll know what the culture is like there for young guys, and it wasn't good. Online business transformed my life, and it's the greatest journey of self-development I could possibly imagine, and you'll see that topic come up quite a bit today, self-development. In that time, I've worked with over 700 people, top mentors, business owners, performance coaches, fitness coaches, clients, you name it. And just in case I was boring you, I'm also the guy who rides blow-up horses off hot air balloons in my free time. Because if you're working yourself to death and you're not enjoying your life, what is the point? Why are we even doing this? If you want to connect or ask me questions personally, you can find me pretty much everywhere, and the handle is at Owen Dabban-Catto. So, let me start by saying this. I understand the pain of trying everything under the sun and not seeing results. I've been sending tons of DMs, I've been constantly posting value, I've been promoting coaching everywhere and then having little or no response to your efforts. And I felt that feeling of crushing self-doubt when you're just sitting there going, well, why is nothing working? Like, is this not going to work for me? And then all the time seeing people who are no different to you, maybe less skilled, less experienced, or my personal pet peeve, looking at the TikTok dancing clowns, and they're working with clients, they're traveling the world, they're having more money, they're having more freedom than you, and more than you even think is possible, and it just doesn't seem fair or right. You're envious, you're frustrated, and you're just sick of shit not working. But let me tell you, there is another way, and it is possible. I have been traveling, working, and earning triple a normal salary from fitness coaching for years. I first got my freedom in 2020, but what worked back then doesn't work now. So back then in 2020, you could just be a good coach, to be honest. You could just hammer DMs, you could put up polls, you could put up the question boxes on Instagram, get a few before and afters, and every now and then you'd say something like, slots available, taking on clients, I'm looking for 5 people, and it would work. And it did work until everyone started doing it. And particularly after lockdown, right, there was a huge success in the coaching space. There was a lot of success for coaches after lockdown, during lockdown, after lockdown, and a ton of new coaches flooded the market. And then all of a sudden, every second person became a coach and was looking for 5 people. And health and fitness got kind of sexy after lockdown as well. It became the new cool. And then all of a sudden, everyone is doing health and fitness related stuff, and High Rocks and all this stuff is popping up now, and the space has just gotten a lot more competitive. When the stuff that worked back then stopped working, most mentors told you to bombard people with DMs, run paid ads, and these are both terrible strategies for people who don't have a working business already. And if you didn't know, we are now in a trust recession. because of this flood of coaches. And I personally get bombarded with people trying to sell me video editing, email marketing, a ton of other requests in my DMs every day. And I'll never buy from these people. And people, myself included, are sick of being burned. They don't trust random DMs. They don't trust strangers' ads. And that's why that stuff doesn't work. The true problem is not your coaching ability. It's not your clients. It's not because you don't have advanced marketing or sales skills. It's not because you can't go viral on social media, which so many people are pushing now, and it just literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all for building a business. And believe it or not, it's not even that you don't have enough leads, although that is a problem that when you fix that, it will help. But none of these are the answers. The real answer and the true problem is your personal brand, your public perception, and your ability to influence people to take action. Luckily, these are things that we can build, and we can literally start building them today. And to be honest, if you're creating content or you're posting online or you have any kind of online presence, you're already doing the work. You just need the right frameworks and understanding to stop wasting time and move it in the right direction. You need to change your positioning in the eyes of others and the people who buy from you with a great offer, a powerful message, and an authentic personal brand. And you will see that coaches who killed it 3 years ago are struggling. There's coaches I know personally who 3 years ago were absolutely miles ahead of me, and now they're asking me to help them out. And then there's those who really only came on the scene recently, but they have the ability to influence and they're exploding. And you just need to look around your feed and you'll see how many coaches, influencers, creators are blowing up. It's insane. People are like building insanely successful 6 and 7 figure businesses left, right, and center. I want you to think about Elon Musk, Floyd Mayweather, The Rock, the Kardashians. These are people of enormous influence. And if you think on a smaller scale, just think of 5 influencers or 5 people in the online space that you know who are killing it online, people that you follow. Everything they touch blows up. We've probably got someone we can think of where anything they touch blows up. If any of them brought out a coaching program for their skill set, they'd blow up, even if they're not the best coaches. And it's not because they're better at coaching. It's likely you're actually a better coach because you've probably put a lot more time and effort and focus and study into coaching. But these people just have a stronger personal brand. And they've many loyal followers built over time on the back of that personal brand. And it's not to say that they're not highly skilled, by the way. They likely are highly skilled too. And skills are important. But being highly skilled, if nobody knows or cares about you, doesn't actually matter. And one of the most important things to take away from this is the brand is more important than the skills. There are people far less skilled, far less experienced, and honestly less caring about their clients than you. And they're making a killing. They're making an absolute fortune through social media. Think of how many useless influencers are making millions from selling bullshit that doesn't work. Like one-off programs, apps, juice diets. But the reality is, influence and attention is everything coming into 2025. And like it or not, these people know how to garner it. And with the ease at which we can produce content with new technology and AI, it's imperative to build a personal brand that stands out, or we will get left behind. So one side note as well that I just want to call out, influence can be manipulative or it can be ethical. It's very strong power that we wield and we have to decide how to use it. Everyone is being manipulated and influenced all the time to some extent, so we have a responsibility to use the power of influence. And when I say that, by the way, I reference marketing. Like everywhere we go, we're being marketed to by brands and companies and everything. You know, people are selling us left, right, and center. So everyone is trying to influence our purchasing decisions. And we have a responsibility as people who will wield the power of influence to bring our clients and followers to a better place and harness that power for good. So at least we're actually moving them in the right direction with our influence. So that's really important. The answer to all of your current difficulties is to build yourself into an influential identity. And we'll have more on what that is in a minute. The good part is it's not actually that hard. You can literally start creating that identity today. And I'm going to give you a look behind the curtains of the Influential Identity Program and show you the exact process that my clients go through to start making more sales, generating more leads, and standing out in their content. But firstly, you must understand why you are the most important part of your business. So people buy you, not your program. They buy your beliefs, your philosophies, your methods, your results, your lifestyle, your success. You are your brand. And if you think of your favorite creators or the people you look up to most, you don't look up to them because of their program. You look up to them because of the things listed here. And when you're delivering, and you are the face of your business, you must be confident and you must lead the way for people to follow. You can't be a follower if you want to be a leader. So we'll dive deeper into what that means, but you essentially can't be a follower and a leader. You can only be one or the other. Point 3 here, business is just building relationships. So you have to be someone people want to be around, or they won't pay to be around you. So this is really, really important. And then lastly, even more important again, with AI, cheap apps, content everywhere you look, the only way to truly stand out in 2024, 2025 and beyond is with an influential personal brand. Away from the branding and back to just the business side of things first. The biggest barrier to a business that lasts is sales, right? If there's no money coming in the door, then we're not going to be in business long, and we will have all heard that we need a good offer to start making sales. But the truth is, a good offer is simply not enough in this market. We need an influential offer, and we're going to dive into what that means as well. But firstly, I want to look at what people get wrong with offers. So most people go through a Hormozi course, they get all the technical pieces without looking at the emotional levers which actually influence 90% of the decision. And they see the 7 key components of an offer, which you may know of, you may not know of, but it's likely you've heard of them. But you forget the foundation that those components are built on. So we look at the components, we build the offer, but we forget that that all stacks up on an emotional foundation. And for our offer to be a success, we have to start at the bottom with the emotional foundation. And we'll get into that. Your brand is a combination of who you are and what you do. All right. So the offer is the what you do. The offer must be in alignment with your personal brand, which is who you are. Once you solidify these components, you become an influential identity, and your offer becomes an influential offer, and it basically sells itself. The more influential your offer and brand, the easier sales are. And I want to show you this diagram. So there's only 4 types of online coaches. And I want you to think about which type you are. And I want you to think about other coaches you know and see if you can bucket them into these categories. And only one of these 4 types are making more sales, making easier sales without high pressure tactics, and they're making more money from higher value clients. And this group is what we call an influential identity here in the top right corner. These are the people who have a strong offer and a strong brand which is aligned. And if you imagine 2 people in a boat rowing, this is the equivalent of having the 2 rowers rowing powerfully in the same direction. A strong offer and a strong brand. We get speed and efficiency, and influential identities leverage an aligned offer and aligned brand, and they basically have their 2 rowers rowing in the same direction. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we've got a weak brand and a weak offer. And this is stagnation. This is the commodity coaches who sell coaching. They probably have PT in their bio or coaching in their bio. They don't really solve a specific problem. They don't really have a strong personal brand. They don't really have an offer. They just say coaching available, and they're completely stuck. They're not getting sign-ups. They're not getting results. They're really, really struggling. Then we have the great coaches who are incredible at what they do, but they just don't have the strong brand. They have a weak brand and a strong offer. So they're really good at getting results. They build their business on results. This works, but it's going to be slow because brand is our ability to get in front of a lot more people faster, and it's our ability to just speed things up. And then in the bottom right corner, we've got the kind of strong brand, weak offer. And this can be, somebody who's running like a meme page, and they've got a lot of viral content and they've got a lot of eyeballs, but the content that they're posting isn't actually related to what they offer. And so they've got a strong brand, which might be like meme page, motivational brand, but it's not actually aligned with what they sell. And so the offer is weak. And so they basically have a lot of attention, a lot of followers, a lot of likes and views, but they don't have sales. And this is the viral content crew. And a lot of coaches are pushing this now, or a lot of mentors are trying to push this now because they've really got a ton of followers who are not buying anything. And so they're trying to sell their virality as the key, but the reality is they're actually struggling. So those are the 4 types, and we want to be in this top right quadrant, which makes us an influential identity, somebody with a strong offer, a strong brand, both of which are aligned and moving us in the right direction. Remember, people do not buy your program. They buy you, your beliefs, your philosophies, your methods, your results, your lifestyle, and the success that you have. You are your brand, and your offer must reflect your brand, or it's out of alignment and people won't buy. It would feel weird to be sold singing lessons by Ronaldo, and you probably wouldn't buy football coaching from Ed Sheeran. Aside from possibly fanboy, fangirl purposes, which ironically, if you did buy, would be because that would be because of an influential personal brand. It just doesn't make sense. Even if the offer is great, we're probably not going to buy football coaching from Ed Sheeran because it just doesn't make sense. It's not aligned with the brand people associate Ed Sheeran with. And, in our own case, it needs to be aligned with the brand people associate us with. And we strengthen that brand by working on ourselves. You need to create the offer from the brand and the brand from who you are and your own journey. And they then build each other over time instead of pulling in opposite directions. Create an offer that you can not only sell, but that you can live. And the reason I have who, not how here is it's all about who you are, not how you do something. So everyone wants to know how to do something, but this pyramid is going to show you. And we start from the bottom, right? So personal development is really what makes you influential. You show people the journey, you show them what you're doing, you show them the success, and personal development makes you more successful, more interesting, and more influential. As you become more successful, interesting, and influential, you now get access to masterminds and networks of people who are also more successful, interesting, and influential. And that speeds up personal development. Being around those people, you have a perception shift, which changes your reality and it speeds growth up again. And this leads to higher standards of yourself and your clients and even more growth, which leads to better results, more influence, and a strengthened brand, and helps you arrive at the freedom number of 6K per month. And the reason that is the freedom number is that once you earn 6K per month from a lean coaching business where you have high margins and you have freedom, your life is pretty good. There's pretty much nothing in your day-to-day that you can't do. And so that's the kind of first step on the coach's journey for the coach who wants freedom, to earn more, to travel, to work less, and just have a great quality of life. But all of this stems from you actually being a better individual, a better coach, having higher standards of yourself and your clients, letting that bleed into your brand, building a strong personal brand, and then you actually get the results on the end of that. So this whole thing is built around being a better version of yourself, which I think we should all be doing. And an influential identity does these things. This is what an influential identity is. Someone who's authentic, who creates a business model that aligns with their values and vision, that fosters personal growth and self-development. They're a leader. They lead by example. They inspire action. They save time by building trust quickly and creating a ripple effect of influence through their posts and through their ideas and their beliefs. They're a market of one, so they position themselves uniquely, they eliminate competition, and it allows them to command premium pricing or money. They're confident, so they set and they enforce high personal standards. They work only with clients who respect their methods and values. They are a creator, so they produce consistent high-value content that sells and saves time by working as a 24/7 sales tool. They're a visionary. They focus on long-term results rather than short-term gains. They preserve their energy. They reduce burnout. And they design their business to optimize time and energy for personal fulfillment because they're freedom-driven. And so you may see some of these things in this presentation. I'm being authentic. I'm sharing my beliefs. I'm being a leader. I'm showing you a different way. I'm in a market of one because no one else is talking about this stuff. I'm confident. I know this works. I'm a creator. I'm producing this video that I'm showing to you guys. And I'm visionary. I'm looking to the long term and I'm looking to where things are going to go with content creation and personal branding, not just in the next year, but in 5 years' time. And of course, I'm freedom driven because that's a big value. Now, most coaches are just calorie deficit coaches or info parrots. And to me, that just means someone who's inauthentic. They waste time mimicking others. They're trying to fit into a mold that doesn't align with their value. And by the way, this was me. I learned through coming through this process. Posting about calories and pieces of bread and pointing stuff out in the shop aisle, it's just not aligned. It's not motivational or inspirational. It's not the kind of life I wanted to lead. They're followers. They're not leaders. They lack originality. They spend excessive time chasing trends and gaining little to no return. Energy is drained trying to keep up, and then self-development is neglected, so they're not working on themselves. And they basically become just a kind of normal worker in a market. They're in a commodity mindset. They're competing on price. They're undervaluing their services. They work excessive hours to make up for low rates. They deplete their energy. They leave no room for personal or professional growth. They're desperate and undervalued, so they accept unaligned clients. That leads to draining relationships. They discount their value. They spend extra time resolving issues, and they basically just stagnate because they have a lack of standards for themselves and their clients. They're a boring content creator. So again, this is the info parrots or the calorie deficit coaches. It's just sporadic, low value content, wasting time and energy, but it's not actually building any authority. They're generally short-term thinkers as well. Like they're prioritizing immediate wins and they're exhausting time and energy with unsustainable tactics. So this is like, oh, what kind of viral reel can I create to get more views? And they're not thinking about the fact that in 10 years' time, they don't want to be known for that. They want to be known for the value that they provide, not for being the funny dancing TikTok clown, for example. And they're just kind of trapped in this cycle by the hustle. Like they're overworking, they don't have scalable systems built, they're sacrificing time and energy, and they're getting diminishing returns. So this is what most people are doing, unfortunately, and this is why most coaches are struggling. We do not want to be calorie deficit coaches or info parrots. We always want to start with what you want to be known for. And this solves the problem of what you should sell. We can use your experience, your beliefs, your interests, your skill sets to get clear on the type of service that you provide and the problems that you solve. And we're not trying to be something or someone you're not, by the way. We're just trying to uncover the most interesting, aligned, and best version of your current self that you can continue to grow into. And this is where the program comes in, the influential identity. The first step that we take in the mentorship is we use the influential offer builder to build out your core offer, and we use the influential identity builder to create your branding strategy and go from not making sales or struggling for new signups to making more sales with a better offer, making easier sales without high pressure tactics, and making more money from higher value clients. And we even have lots of guys in the group who are actually making sales through the DMs. They've not even taken sales calls because it's just not a good use of their time. We need to start with the end in mind before we create the offer itself. And you can go through these 7 frames of reference and questioning to start to really craft a brand that is unique. So firstly, you want to define a unique brand identity with scarcity in mind. And you can ask questions like, what rare qualities, specific traits, or achievements do I possess that make my story distinct and position me as someone worth following? What non-negotiable values and principles are unique to my brand, and how will I showcase them? There's lots of other questions you can ask there, but this is just some examples. You then want to actually understand and elevate your target audience's aspirations. So who is my audience? And like what language, what visuals, what experiences resonate with them? And what unique transformation can I offer them that no one else can? How can I position myself as a market of one? And then once we've come up with the kind of person we want to be perceived as, the kind of person we want to work with, then we can actually craft a rare and compelling value proposition for those people. So like what specific high value results or insights am I offering that are hard to find? What aspects of my expertise are difficult for others to replicate? And all of this is setting us aside from the competition, and it's allowing us to actually command higher prices as well. Then we want to think about designing visual and messaging consistency to convey high value rarity. So this is not the most important part, but it is something just to keep in mind. Like, do we have a specific color palette, a style? How can we convey like luxury or rarity or exclusivity? How can we convey that we're better than other people? How can we deliver a better result and then showcase that our brand is more superior? Is there symbols or designs that can reinforce that idea that the brand is of higher quality? And then how can my visuals give the impression of a premium experience? So these are just other things to think through. We want to focus on content pillars that exude rarity and depth. We want to connect with our audience. And we don't want to just talk about calorie deficits and foods that you can eat for fat loss. This is not what people need. So we need to think about what topics or themes can I cover in depth that are hard to access elsewhere. So maybe you cover self-sabotage or communication or the importance of support networks or things that are just not, this is the number of calories this piece of bread has. Think about what high value insights can you offer instead of just typical advice? Because if you offer typical advice, you're going to just look like a typical coach, and that's not what people want or need. And then how can you create content that feels scarce but powerful? And a really easy way here is just sharing your story, because often we've all been through some difficulties, we've been through some challenging times, and if we share those stories, they're scarce because no one else has them, but they can also be powerful if we share lessons and insights and learnings. So that's something to kind of think about again. Number 6, leveraging social proof and testimonials with rarity in mind. So again, how can we be different and better? How can I showcase results that are both impressive and difficult to achieve? And what high value client transformations can I feature? And for example, one of the guys in the group here is absolutely killing it, and he is an S&C coach, but instead of being the S&C coach, he is the strength or the speed and size guy. So he helps athletes to put on 5 kg of lean mass, and he helps them get faster in the process. And because he's really specific, he's really niched, he's working with like county level athletes, he's working with much higher intent people who are really committed, and he's able to charge higher prices. Other clients are getting like results through dealing with specific problems or issues. So, for example, another one of the guys in the group deals specifically with time and saving time for high performing entrepreneurs and business owners and career guys who are out of shape, but they have money, but they don't have time. And he helps them to basically implement his method to take back 2 or 3 hours a week that they can then dedicate to training. And he helps them get in shape in the least amount of effort possible, basically. And he can charge a lot more money, and the transformations are incredible because these guys are getting into shape, but they're also improving their routine and their lifestyle, and their business is growing and all sorts of good things. And then this last one is just engaging in strategic self-disclosure with a sense of mystery. So what aspects of my story are relatable yet add to my mystique? And this can just be like letting a little bit more of yourself out, telling them some of maybe the stuff that's a little bit more out there, the stuff that you maybe wouldn't normally put on social media. What parts of your personal journey should you keep reserved? So there is some things you maybe don't want to share, but there's some things that you can kind of let people know without giving them full details. And my past was a bit wild, and I don't give details, but I kind of allude to that past. And if you've read much of my content or listened to much of my content, you'll be able to kind of pick up a lot of my past and what I was doing without me directly giving you the details. And that makes it intriguing and engaging and interesting. And what I'm doing there is I'm balancing sharing value with also maintaining an enigmatic appeal, which is this appeal of like, what's this person up to? Like, wow, this person has kind of been through it. They know something I don't know, right? And so we're kind of having this sense of intrigue and keeping people engaged and interested. Again, as you may have guessed, this is an ongoing process, and it's one we cover in depth in the coaching process. But until we can get clear on the brand and the journey and the path that you are taking, the offer will just never be as good as it could be. And when you do get clear on the brand, then you become someone who's simply irreplaceable and you have no competition. And we call this a market of one. Then you can move on to the technical components of a powerful offer, always keeping in mind the foundation. And you can use the specific promise, unique roadmap and methods, investment and payment plans, name and branding, scarcity and urgency, bonuses, sales incentives, guarantee, risk reversal. This is all the basic offer stuff, but you can actually optimize this stuff until you've looked at the branding on the front end. And then once the brand and this offer building are in alignment, then you get to that place where things are just basically taking off for you. Once we've built an influential offer, we then can create content which funnels back to the offer. It creates context around the offer, and it starts to turn followers into believers and users of your methods. Plus, every time you post, you're building your brand and offer instead of tearing it down with generic, inauthentic content. So once we start from the brand, the offer, then the content will come from the brand and the offer, and you never have to worry about what to post again. If you're just posting and you haven't thought about this stuff, you're actually diluting your brand and your message just by posting generic stuff. Once you've actually got the influential identity locked in, which is the brand and the offer, then you can actually install the social circle selling system. And this is how we really elevate things. We put this into the weekly processes to make leads, customers and clients just consistently flow into your business. This gets rid of the problem of not having any leads, and it sets us up for success. And these people coming in are already pre-sold because the content has sold them on the brand and the offer by the time they get to us. The last step to truly build out your influential identity foundations is to start creating content, aligning your messaging and building your brand through the lens of influence. So thinking, is this influential? Is it influencing people towards my offer and my brand? We use the Architect of Influence framework so that we can stand out in your content, get way more inbound leads, and know what to create every single day. Without an influential offer, a working scalable sales funnel, and a clear content and personal branding strategy, you will never become an influential identity in your space. Now more than ever, your brand is the thing that matters. A combined influential identity and influential offer are basically unstoppable, and have coaches who never coached before banking 5k in 90 days from 0 clients ever. And some are actually banking 5k in their first 30 days, but they are not people who are starting from 0. In 2 years' time, you will have a powerful influential identity and influential offer, or you will work for someone who does. And remember that. If you don't know where to start with crafting your influential identity and influential offer, I have something for you. My own influential offer, of course. Hopefully by now you can see that I really eat, sleep and breathe my offer. I live my offer. I love freedom, self-development, growth, experience, excitement, success, personal branding. And the concepts that I explained to you today are the same ones that gave me my freedom to travel, to work less, to earn more, and basically spend my time working on myself and my future. If you're a coach and you're at that 0 to 3K monthly recurring revenue, you want that freedom and you want to take your business to the next level, I will help you get started to add 3 to 5 high value clients in the next 30 days, guaranteed, or I'll work with you for free. That's my influential offer. 3 to 5 high value clients in the next 30 days, guaranteed, or I'll work with you for free. DM me Grow. My handle is there, @OwenDavanCatto. On any platform, I'll give you all the information you need to see if it's a good fit for you. And because it came from this video, if we chat and we agree it's a good fit, I'll even add €400 worth of one-to-one consulting hours entirely free, which on average will get you an extra 2 to 3 clients. I'll see you soon.